Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wine and Bitch podcast. It has been a hot minute, but we are here. We are we are back.
Damn.
Um, I figured, it's been a bit. How are the two of you? Any life updates? Anything crazy? Any
Not even a little
Oh,
bit.
things are
um, I mean, Mir and I did see each other since our last episode. We
Yeah.
did get to actually physically lay eyes upon the other. It was rather
Whoa.
exciting.
It was just eyes, you know what I'm
Was it
saying?
magical?
Just kidding.
What?
It wasn't. We did get to
It
snuggle
was
quite a
magic.
bit in bed. It's nice.
We
Oh my
did.
God. I'm very jealous.
We
The
missed you though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it wasn't the same two, not all three.
Sad. Did you guys just like, snuggle and you just like made the guys watch?
I mean,
No, they actually closed their eyes.
they like did not seem eager to join the snuggles.
That's weird.
I know.
Odd.
Hmm.
A little
Very
Yeah.
strange.
offended, but it's okay.
Damn. Uh,
Exactly.
well, very jealous of the two of you, obviously, but I'm happy you got to see each other. Um, no, nothing, obviously, yeah, life is the same as a month ago, which is sad. I maybe good at this point. I don't know. Is it good not to have change? I'm not sure at this point. But we will just hop right into it. I did preface this to the two of you, but I wrote these notes a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna try my best to remember what I was talking about, but I remember, and this might feel a little, I feel like this is weird because I haven't thought about it in a bit, but like I'm putting myself back in the mindset. I, and I feel like all of us are people who like to just be like, but why are things the way they are? We like to like question it or question why things were a certain way at one point, why we
Yes.
do things, make decisions, act a certain way. It's fun to question things. And something that I really like to get amped about is how much marketing, advertising, like themes in basically what we see every day play a huge role in our lives. And something, and there's a bunch of them, but something that I get really like angry about, obviously this happens a lot in fashion and whatnot, is that like people feel the need to look certain ways or dress certain ways or whatever. And a huge one that for some reason completely controlled our lives for many years was the idea of pink being a general color for like women or females and blue being a general color for males. And I, being a person who really hates when there are just like boxes that people are supposed to fit in, like stuff like this makes me angry. And I know this idea, I guess, or a theme has pretty heavily died down within our lives. But I feel like it was still a big thing early, like when we were younger. Yeah, maybe.
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
feel like it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Um, but I did a deep dive a couple weeks ago. Um, into all of this, a bit of the history behind it, maybe why it happened. And the why behind it is almost more infuriating than the whole thing in general because it always just comes down to someone wanting to make money and was
Mhm.
like, yeah, let's just try it. Let's just do it and see if they listen to us. So, as always, advertising is trying to sell you a thing or an idea or whatever. It's supposed to make your life better, easier, make you cooler. It's supposed to do whatever. It's supposed to enhance your life. Ads anymore, like the cool way of living they show you, and they're constantly doing research on like what the next big thing is going to be, obviously. So this is largely to the United States. For some reason, we're the only, not the only, but we're largely the dumbasses who fell for this. Fun fact.
Wait, is the blue and pink mostly the United
Yeah.
States? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
it
that.
wasn't really like, I'm not saying there aren't any like color norms for like other, but
Right.
the blue and pink is like heavily just, it was just us. And
Oh.
it wasn't a thing until like the 1940s. Like it was a very
Huh.
short-lived like trend, I
Yeah,
guess.
because I feel like that is like, yeah, it was so
Yeah.
big for when we were like, yeah.
So yeah, up until like 1940, a little bit of history going back to school here. There really weren't any like strict color norms for people. Crazy in the late 1800s and even early 1900s, it was super popular to just put any child, all children, in white dresses because they were super easy to clean. You could just bleach them, clean them, whatever. And obviously dresses, you just like wipe them on a kid. You don't have to worry about it later. Um, so all like young children until about the age of 6 or 7 used to not get their hair cut until they were 6 or 7 and would just wear generally dresses. So it was considered a very gender neutral outfit, just
Mm-hmm.
strictly for convenience purposes. There's even an like iconic photo with this argument that was taken in 1884 of the Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I always feel like I mess up his name. But he's just a 2.5 year little toddler, and he literally has like, I think it almost looks like he has bangs and like just like a chopped like bob almost it looks like, and then he's just like sitting in a white dress. Like it's literally a very like easy to research picture, but it's like it's that literally was like just like that's how children dress because it was easy, convenience, whatever. And I feel like if you see that today, you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, people like pierce their babies'
Oh
ears like as
yeah.
Oh
infants.
yes, my mom pierced my ears as an infant because I was bald for the first year and a half of. Oh
Really?
yes, I was bald for the first year and a half of my life, and people didn't know I was a girl, so my mom pierced my ears as an infant.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's always been really interesting to me. Like, I guess is I mean, I guess at least I could say your mom had like a purpose behind doing it, but like you can't tell me that's why everyone does it to infants.
No,
Like
no.
what why then? Like the only argument I've ever heard is, well, they don't really like it's not as painful because they're not like thinking about it. That's
Mm-hmm.
the only argument I've seen, but I'm just like, how do you know your kid wants earrings? Like I don't know why I'm just in my head and I'm just like, yeah, but you don't know. That's really weird. But I think I might be crazy. I don't know a lot. But the whole we'll leave it at that.
Yes, you do.
The whole like putting children in like more like maybe like dresses or more like unisex clothing, that almost feels kind of like European to me. I might be wrong, but I think I have like a distant relative who married a woman from Spain. So I don't know if this is like a small tradition or if this is just what she does, but like she has a boy and a girl and they both dress like they'll both be in dresses sometimes or like they'll both be in like tights like the boy dresses similarly to the girl for like our standards.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, is this a European thing? Like they still do this? Or I don't know if it's just her. Like I've never asked. I just see the kids and like
Yeah.
obviously at first we saw it and we were like that's like not like bad but it's kind of odd like we just weren't used to seeing it but yeah I don't know I guess I should have checked if that's like still a thing there. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never saw a lot of like any Europeans I feel like I meet are not babies. So I guess,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I never saw.
I'm on a quest to go meet European babies. Here we go.
This is why I travel the world.
All right, so that was like how it basically used to be, clothing wise. By roughly the 1920s, I think like advertising was becoming more of a thing. We were starting to have kind of like a growing market in the US, and they kind of tried to start giving, I guess, gender related colors. But at the time, pink was generally considered a color of strength. And so it was actually generally given to boys. And
I do remember that fun
yeah, and
fact.
blue generally held
Yeah.
a symbol of innocence. You know, think like a lot of Christian religions always have like, isn't like Mary in like a blue robe or something, I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure. Or yeah. So these
Yeah.
were generally seen as like, symbols and they were given there, but they weren't like heavily followed. Like I think it's like understood that they represented that, but it wasn't like you have to dress your boy in like pink or whatever. Um, they weren't focused in magazines or anything like that. But they did kind of like they were just understood messages. In 1927, Time magazine, the big old Time, published a guide, and they were just like, let's just try this on what children should be wearing. And it specified that pink was for boys and blue was for girls. And the hope in creating this was that a mom would read this and kind of feel the need to like be like, oh, the magazine said I should do this. So I need to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. And because that's what's
Uh-huh.
like in, like that will make my child cool. It'll make me look normal, whatever. And Oh, I said 1927. Yeah. So I think the whole idea of this, and this didn't really like work. I'm not saying it didn't work for anyone. It probably did, but like it obviously didn't hold the level of advertising that we probably hold that stuff to today. But I felt like the reading into this, the timing was really weird because literally 2 years, it would have been prior or after was the Great Depression. I'm now getting years wrong in my brain, but then all of a sudden everything just like crashed. So that might have been like the timing of it. Like if it would have caught on and people would have like still had disposable income, it like
Mm-hmm.
literally could have been swapped forever. But I think like the timing was just really funny. So it was probably the Great Depression that literally prevented that from happening, along with many other things.
Thing can throw
But
off such basically like
Like
history,
everything.
yeah. The way we view
Yeah.
that.
Wait, the guide was saying it was for girls and pink
Girls.
was for
yeah.
boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was saying the original like swapped idea that wasn't like super big, but was just known. And so this guide came out, but it came out 2 years before the Great Depression. So like who knows? Like this whole thing could have caught on and like people could have started doing it.
Whoa.
But like
Mm-hmm.
I can't pink as like the strong color. That's so
I know,
weird.
isn't that I literally had such a hard time even like I think it's just because it's like a derivative of like red and red is like
Yes.
very bold and so like especially for
Yeah, that
children
makes
you would
sense.
take like a I don't want to say a lesser version but like a softer or like
Yeah.
derived
The
from
more
version of
subdued.
it. Yeah. So I think it kind of comes from that, which is like, isn't that so weird that like we still to this day see red as a very powerful color, but not pink?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
It's
is crazy.
crazy.
Color theory. Anyway, so the whole basically people were in a spending mindset. So like they could have right before the Great Depression. So this could have been like the time credit was created because people wanted to start buying fancy things like
Mm-hmm.
cars and shit like that. Henry Ford coming in here being like, "Yo, everyone wants to drive." And we're like, "Yeah, we do." And then people were like, "I want my boy to dress in
Yeah,
pink."
we
And we were like,
do.
I don't know." But anyway, so Great Depression happens, obviously World War II happens, and the United States sees a pretty relatively big flip in spending, in disposable income, all of those things. And the even better thing, not better really, kind of being sarcastic, 40s and 50s became the years of we need to be like perfect. I mean, we all know the classic like housewife and like picket fence
Mm-hmm.
and the ideal perfection of the American family. Which I feel like was the perfect recipe to start putting in these quote unquote guides and like what you should and shouldn't be doing because everyone was already in that mindset. But
Mhm.
literally, no one really knows where it came from. But all of a sudden in the 40s, the colors just like swapped. Like,
That's so
no,
odd.
like, did someone randomly publish another guide? Did, for some reason, like, ads just start being like, let's just try pink for this woman's dress? Like, literally, like, no one knows. And it just caught on and it just became a thing, like, instantly. And it's like, no one even, like, remembers what the cause was. All of a sudden, retailers just decided or made an argument that boys like blue and girls like pink. And it became down to what, like, the gender prefers. Like they almost try to make it that argument. Um, and people have tried to do studies on like if there is really like a preferred color, and studies have even shown, which this is really hard because it's completely subjective and obviously comes down to a whole lot of factors. But generally, in most of these studies, blue is picked by everyone. Like it's not a gender related thing. We already
Exactly.
knew that, but like pink is generally known as one of the least liked colors ever,
That's
which I
hilarious.
feel like is really funny. But also, I don't know when these studies were done. So
Yeah,
like,
but
were
also
they
they were
done
probably doing this
like today?
right. I was saying like if right, like in today's times, probably a lot of people don't like I feel like
Right.
all girls are like, no, fuck pink. We were strong, independent women, and guys never grew up liking pink. So like that makes
Exactly.
sense.
Like there's literally like a revolt against pink. Like, oh my God, I remember when I was younger, I refused to wear anything that looked feminine or pink because it like held such a strong
Mhm.
like message behind it essentially. But
Exactly.
yeah, so who knows? They just like wanted to make money. I'm sure encourage people to buy all new wardrobes and shop at certain stores and do whatever. And so you were trying to be cool. But again, this probably wouldn't have been made possible without the complete flip of the economy and people having disposable income and whatever and trying to fit in. But yeah, it literally just caught on. like I said, 40s, 50s, everyone wanted that perfect life. Uh, People went crazy for that, and you absolutely did not want to be the family that stood out. So this could have been a big thing. Um, so that was probably like the rage of it, I'm assuming. Then came the like women's movement of the 60s and 70s. That was, we're fucking sick of looking after these freaking men. We want to do our own shit. Hello. And it kind of returned to unisex clothing, but instead of in history, we were used to, by our standards, children or men wearing more like feminine clothing. Now women are coming out in like masculine clothes. Like women started wearing like trousers, which was a huge no-no, which is bizarre and insane that that was like a no. But it's just women started wearing like oversized like clothing and whatever, and like that was such a huge statement, which is like hysterical to think about today because now people can pretty much wear whatever they want. But like seeing women in men's clothes made people really uncomfortable. And it obviously was trying to take away this idea of the perfect woman or wife or whatever. So flipping around everything. And I feel like probably a lot of the garments were more like neutral tones, nothing crazy. And this kind of brought in the idea of unisex clothes probably through the 70s and pretty much up till now. There's always been an idea of like more gender neutral clothing. So probably one like last thing that gave this color gender related relationship power was when prenatal testing became a thing and parents could find out the sex of their child prior to birth. This gave
Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
because now like instead of maybe leaning
Gender
towards
reveal.
exactly now
Yeah.
like everyone had this power to advertise to people being like, oh, you're having a girl, get them all of this and like it'll be beautiful, like you have this beautiful little girl's room or whatever, and like you could get all prepared for it, instead of probably getting more neutral things because you don't know, like you're walking home with a baby, like who knows. But
Now you can have everything personalized and tailored to you and what your child is. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, that was like an immediately capitalized on, because duh, it was like a hole in the market that people found. So it allowed manufacturers to heavily push color norms, which kind of managed to stick with us until like probably again we were younger. It doesn't really exist anymore today. I mean, I think the idea is there, but I know it's definitely not as heavily focused as it was. But kind of the timing of that, I feel I kind of took from the unisex clothing and maybe almost like encouraging people to dress more unisex. So these like norms and ideas kind of started with the baby boomers, which is almost like interesting that everyone alive today was raised with this idea. But prior
Yeah.
to that, it was a new idea.
Yeah.
So it's just like everyone on the planet is
Yeah,
like,
that is
well, everyone in the United States predominantly is just like, yes, this is how it is. And like that's just like how quickly it takes for like an idea to stick. If you can just get like one generation to stick
Yeah.
with it.
Marketing, man. It's
Marketing.
crazy.
But yeah, and it stuck. It was what was quote unquote normal. If you stepped outside of that, you were guaranteed to get funny looks or people maybe wanted to avoid you. No human likes to be seen as an outsider normally.
Yeah.
Especially like children. Like it's a, formative years.
Yeah.
You're trying to find your pack, your group, whatever. So it's just super intense. But that was like predominantly just like the history of it. I know I like flew through all of that, but like I said, it just kind of shows like how just a random idea, generally coming up by marketers or somebody trying to make money, can get pushed into society and just stick. Obviously, there's so many ways media affects how we think and do things every single day. And I literally put someone with enough power, followers, money to pay for giant ads can tell you what is cool and what isn't, how to live your life, what to eat, etc. And this just skims the surface on what the media can and has done to our culture.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly why girls shave their underarms and shave their legs. That's literally the only reason.
Oh yeah, that's a very American thing. Like no European shave.
Oh yeah, and
or they shave everything.
It was strictly a marketing ploy. In 1915, people had more disposable incomes, and razor companies, you only sell so many razors to so many men.
Right.
Clothing was changing from Victorian style clothing where everyone was, you're covered from neck to toe, arms and everything. And as soon as clothing started to change and expose more skin, they said, hey, wait a second. You have to, like, girls should shave their underarms. That's embarrassing. You don't want to do this. And, like, this is exactly how it started. So marketers saw an opportunity of, okay, women's dress is changing. More body parts are exposed.
Ayo.
Underarm hair is just absolutely unsightly.
Disgusting.
So, like, they literally start advertising of, like, you can't, don't, this is a faux pas, like, don't go out in public like this, yada, yada. So, like, that's now becoming normalized, shaving your underarms.
Yeah.
And then it hits again, and what really screws us over, it hits again at the point where the U.S. is entering one of the world wars. I want to say it's World War One.
Oh, okay.
Probably the third one.
The one that is to come.
I'm kidding.
But, the production board, starts dictating what products, what resources are going to be used to make. So nylon is no longer used to make, pantyhose and tights and the things that women must wear under their dresses and skirts and everything. So now women don't have access to their pantyhose and tights because that nylon is being used to make products for, the good old American soldiers. So they see another marketing opportunity to have women start shaving their legs. They're like, oh, you can't go out in public with your legs exposed and hairy and unsightly. There's no shears, no pantyhose to wear over them. So might as well start shaving your legs. And they also started selling leg makeup. Thank God that never caught on.
Oh my God.
Leg makeup. So you would paint on the line of your stockings and your pantyhose onto your leg to make it appear as if your legs were still smooth and, perfectly kept in those pantyhose. And I'm like, so this is why I shave? Really?
Yeah, that's pretty infuriating. I mean, the whole idea of shaving to begin with and the fact that it became a societal quote-unquote standard is pretty infuriating.
Yeah.
But I think people today have long morning routines. Can you imagine waking up and painting on your freaking pantyhose? Like,
right?
What?
Right?
I don't even do my face makeup, let alone pieces.
That's just insane. The shaving is a big one, and it's a big one because we're not really through it yet. That's still, I think, pretty like touchy for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a thing off and on. Obviously, you find like groups of people who like believe in not doing it or whatever. But it definitely did become like mainstream probably till we were, at least for me, I didn't like think about it till like high school probably. And we would have like one or two students who like just didn't, and they never said anything, but obviously eventually one day you notice, and it became like the talk. And it's just like,
yeah,
I didn't even know how to feel about it in the moment. I like can just kind of remember feeling like confused, like because one, obviously, again, is high school, teenage years. Like you kind of are like wanting to like be with everyone else. You don't want to like be an outlier. So like I definitely found it strange, but also at the same time, it's like, why do we care? Like it's someone else's body.
Oh yeah, it's so true.
Like, and I feel that like more and more. Like I could literally anymore give two shits like what anyone does, and I feel like a lot of people feel that way, and I just get like, I just know people can go into a rage about it, and I'm just like, why does it matter?
It's such a social norm now. It's so taboo to go out with your underarms not shaved or your legs not shaved while they're exposed, and you're just like, this is my body.
Let me tell you, I have gotten some looks and some comments if I don't shave my legs to go swimming, man, because I'm just lazy. It really comes down to nothing else. It's just like some days I feel like shaving, some days I don't. Fuck it, I don't care. And I've totally gone swimming to like public pools or like the beaches, and I haven't shaved my legs, and my legs I grow a lot of hair. I'll just leave it at that. And so I've 100% gotten like definitely looks, if not even like comments sometimes. And I'm just like, who cares? Like, I'm the last person I'm trying to impress is you, that's for sure. And so it's just like it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
To me, it's like, yeah, I literally agree. Like nowadays, like who cares? But it also, what more upsets me is the social norms or the gender norms of shaving,
Mhm.
of why,
Yeah.
like, it's like either like we should all judge everyone for not shaving their legs, or
Yes.
judge, like if I'm fine, if you want to judge me for not shaving legs, fine, but then also judge the hairy ass legs of the guy next to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what upsets me more. Like, because Europeans, they either none of them shave or they all wax every part of their body, no matter what gender you are. So I feel like it's one of those, like, everyone's
Just choose
hairless.
one.
Yeah, or everyone's hairy. Why just one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh man. It's crazy. I feel like I've always, especially shaving, I felt really torn because it is still really strong in our culture.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
Yes.
oh my God, and I literally remember like
Also,
the
though,
first time having to shave, and I felt weird about it because I was like, oh God, now I have to do this for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. Like it was like the first time you get your period and you're like, now this is my life.
So this is
Yeah.
it, huh?
Yeah, and I kind of hated it every second of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it sucks. And I'm just like, wow, one dude really screwed us all over because he wanted to make some
Yeah,
more
I
money.
of dollar industry.
I mean, it was like if you think about it, it was a really brilliant business move.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like, was it a great idea? Yeah. Did they do it well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I mean, yeah, it's so shit. But it's like it's interesting though because obviously this isn't in terms of kind of the norms of like shaving versus not shaving, but now you have, and this is a little different, but now you have like the eco movement that
Yeah.
believes in more natural things, and that can be natural as in I don't shave, or that's like what you use to remove the hair. So it's
Exactly.
like, yo, businesses are in this weird place where they have to be really careful with what they do right now, or they're
That's
like
very
not
true.
going to be relevant very soon, which
Yeah,
is an extra level
Mhm.
of interesting in my opinion. But
for sure.
I completely agree.
yeah, I don't know. I also, it's really funny to me that like this whole thing, I'll say started from like what we were talking about in the beginning, that like unisex meant generally what we see as feminine clothing, and then the 100 years later, whatever, it was unisex is women wearing masculine clothing,
Exactly.
and now
Yeah.
like women can truly in America for the most part get away with wearing whatever we want. Obviously you have assholes anywhere who are going to say
Oh,
something,
yeah.
but for the most part, society wise, we can pretty much wear whatever we want. And now we're almost having to like refight for like men to.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's actually really true. I never thought of it that way. That is true.
Yeah.
It's like it just keeps flipping.
I know. Can we all just be
And
equal?
it's like, yeah, what the fuck, guys? Why does it matter? But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's really interesting because I mean, Spencer and I know like talk about this a lot, and it's like it's like you go looking in the men's section and it's like, oh, you can choose between these three things. See you later. Have fun. And they're all varying shades of gray. And then you go over to the women's section and it's like I mean, it might almost be too much choice at some points, but it's like you can wear whatever.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
and it's not weird for women to merge over to the men's section,
Mhm.
but it's definitely still I guess kind of weird seen as in a cultural standpoint for men to kind of swap over. But I don't know. It's interesting, and I like to keep reminding myself that like literally all these norms we have are just because they started with for the most part with the baby boomers, and like that's why we all believe it. So
Doesn't it make you
like
think,
what
like,
are going to be the norms that like we
yes, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that. Yeah. Or like what are like in 3 generations, like what that's gonna be like in like, yeah, it's weird.
Ah,
I think the nudist societies are really
interesting.
gonna make way, personally.
Honestly, Mir, I have been more on board with that lately.
Yeah. I'm just saying, in society, we've gone less and less clothing eventually. Bathing suits are now literally thongs and a little bit covering your nipple. Like,
Yeah.
just take it all off at that point, man. I don't know.
That's literally 100%. Yes, I'm like lately, I don't know if it's because my apartment doesn't have AC and we've been having a heat wave. I'm in like next to nothing, like every
Yeah.
day. Like I'm just trying to get by and not sweat through everything I own. And I'm just like, I'm basically in underwear every day. This is literally nudist level. Like this is like nudist level. And it's like, you know what? I could do this every day.
Yeah.
I'd be perfectly
Like, it's
happy
like,
doing this
all
every
right.
day.
I agree.
Yeah, why do we care?
And I mean, you know
Hopefully
what?
that's what we leave.
If we're gonna go towards the nudist, we might as well do it now because my body's just going downhill from here. You know, we're hitting our peak. Might as well.
True. Accurate.
Embrace it right now.
Yeah. Might as well do
I
it where
love
I'm still somewhat okay with myself.
We're not everything sagging yet.
When things aren't totally down.
I feel like embracing it now makes you more confident for later.
Yeah, I feel like everyone later in life is always just like doesn't give a shit. No, not like confident or not confident, but they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You know, you've seen places, you've done shit, and you're like, why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
My dad constantly says that. He's like, I can't wait till I hit the age where I don't have to care anymore. And I'm like, okay, all right.
He hasn't hit it yet. He hasn't hit that point
He's
yet?
just like, well, his big thing is like, you know, elderly people who like fart anywhere and don't care or burp anywhere. And my dad's like, I can't wait till I hit that age where I can just do that and nobody can say anything to me because I'm your elder.
Oh my God.
I was like, wow, you really have some high dreams, my man. Big dreams.
Those
Yeah.
are goals. That's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, it does make you think, like, what are we doing right now that's gonna carry on?
Yeah.
I don't know. I always just think, and this definitely isn't an original idea, but I always just think like it's just gonna keep getting like out there more. Like,
Yes. Pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, in like a generation or 2 generations, will there even be an idea of gender? Will there even be like
agreed.
Honestly, I think sizing in general is gonna change. Like I think that it's gonna be more of a unisex scale in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just like it'll have to vary because obviously like fit can be different, but it's like you know, it's like a spectrum. It's not like 2 categories and then you like branch down. I feel, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there could just be a lot of changes in that sense. But I don't know. But that doesn't feel new. Like it's are. So I have no idea like what we would have really added to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would
Or we're
agree
gonna
with
go
that.
super like cyber and I'll have like tech implants or some crazy shit.
And like you can like switch how your body looks every day.
Yeah. It'll be
yeah.
crazy. I don't know. But who knows? Or we're gonna like really, really like reverse. Like we're gonna hit a point where like it all goes backwards. And
I could kind of see that.
Retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Because there's also a movement. I've been seeing ads lately, and I don't know why. Like me, because I've been getting these ads that are for videos of people being like, why you should dress more conservatively. And I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? I don't know. Are you like mad at me? Did I do something wrong? I don't get it. Like, is my mom telling you to send me these videos?
To dress more conservatively? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
What are the ads? Like, what are they saying?
I haven't listened to them because I'm afraid I'm going to feel offended.
And then you're going to get more if it's Google.
Maybe they saw the
Google's
boob
going to keep telling me to
scrunchie.
watch them.
Maybe they saw the boob scrunchie
I like
top
that.
and didn't care for it.
They're like, no, please cover yourself.
Honey.
Yeah, I don't know. It could go that way because there's definitely an argument for like people see conservatism, as like a form of self-respect.
Yeah.
Some people see it that way. I don't.
Yeah.
I can kind of see I can understand the idea. I don't see it that way, but I mean, again, people wear whatever the fuck they want. I don't care. But I've been seeing those videos and now I'm like tempted to watch them, but I just am like, you're not going to change my mind. But,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. We could go that way.
What if our thing is the marketing tactics that everyone's using right now? The whole separate wardrobe basically for work from home. This high-end loungewear that everyone's pushing now, and these like tailor fit.
I mean that market only started like 10 years ago, and like it's already. I mean that's huge. Like I could see that carrying on.
People on clothing websites now. There is actually a category entitled "work from home." They've created it.
Really?
Yeah, some of them actually have complete separate like categories where it's just like loungewear, but it's, you know, it's just a touch fancier. Like there's sets of loungewear instead of, you know, just normal sweatpants and a t-shirt. It's an outfit.
Yeah, they're trying to like class it up
Yeah.
so you don't look like a.
Well, it's the whole kind of like
Zoom.
legging. I call it the leggings effect personally, because it's. I mean, leggings were never a thing, and now
God,
it's
no.
always like, oh, now instead no one wears actual full jeans anymore. Everyone has like stretchy jeans, like the legging
Yeah.
jeans, like right. Like I mean,
Yeah.
everything's now just this like. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I could see it going like that's kind of the mark we leave for our generation was like the lounging, like the feel good and look
Yeah.
good kind of
I
thing.
mean, even when you put on your like stretchy
I've-
jeans, they're like, "Oh man, like why are you all dressed up today?" I'm like, they're
Right,
pants.
and you're like,
True.
they're nice.
These are just pants,
I'm that person. When I see someone else in jeans, I'm like, are you going somewhere?
Yeah.
right?
Guys, I only put on jeans once in the past. How long have we been in quarantine? 5 months, 4 months.
Wow, you're strong. That's one more than I have. So
I put on pants. I don't know, a handful of times.
whoa,
man.
big day. I'd be fine with that. I mean, I think a lot of the work from home is, I mean, obviously everything they do is a money standpoint, but I was like reading into it, and clothing sales in general, especially for anything like luxury or like fancy, have dropped to like, oh my God, I think they said like anywhere from 70 to
Oh, yeah.
80%.
Oh yeah, I'm
since quarantine.
sure.
Nobody's going anywhere. No one's
But-
buying anything.
Well, right. Also, like you have to take into fact like money's
Yeah.
tight, like a lot of people are unemployed. Like there's so many factors. But then for athleisure have gone up like 70%.
Wow.
So like when clothing in general is dropping that much and just one category is soaring, like everyone is trying to get on top
Yeah.
of that.
Because I mean, when this started, I quickly realized, oh, I don't have enough shorts to wear shorts every day, and like my casual shorts, or I don't have enough leggings to wear this casually every day. Like I didn't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know.
Wow, I don't know what's wrong with you,
Is it
Sierra.
time?
I was prepared for this. I
I
was fully prepared.
was actually, because this happened in March, I was saving up to go on a big shopping spree to buy like really cute summer clothing. Cause I don't have a lot of cute summer clothes. And I like stopped wearing leggings. I was gonna buy Lululemon leggings. I didn't even buy those. It's like, nope, I'm only buying cute stuff. And then luckily this happened like right before I went on the shopping spree. I would have been pissed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That would
man.
not have been good.
Whoa, you were going for the expensive clothing too? Lululemon?
Yeah, I'm trying to
Wow.
step up my game here, but now I'm still on my $20 like Target leggings.
Yeah,
So
Old Navy all the way.
nothing's really changed. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I got hyped when I went to the thrift store the other day and found a pair of shorts. I was like, yes, athletic shorts. I can wear these every day. And I got so excited. But yeah, so that's just one brief example of how marketing can just fuck over your whole life. You know?
Ayo.
There are definitely like other things. I know like the big other one is engagement rings were apparently a complete marketing
Oh yeah, I could see
thing.
that.
I know I've read into it briefly. I would literally love to talk about that sometime because I get amped. I mean, I feel torn because it's like, you know, whatever, like they're a huge thing, but it's also like I love to just be like, you know, marketing made you do that, right? Like, you know, it has like no significance, right? Like I love to be that asshole at the same time. But yeah, so that would be another like fun future one. Or I'm sure there's so many things we do have been controlled by
Yeah.
marketing. So
Yeah.
Things that we don't want to do, we just do.
I
Because of
know.
marketing.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
annoying.
True.
Well, here we are to question society and tell it to fuck off and do what we want. So,
Yeah, but you know, I gotta go shave my legs now, so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I gotta go buy some pink clothes, so I guess be back.
BRB. But yeah, so thank you guys for being here and for listening and partaking, and thank you to anyone else. Would always appreciate like any ideas or whatever. We should pretty much be on anywhere you listen, and I think that is all. Any last words?
Nope.
No, man. Go buy your razors. Go buy your pink clothes.
Go buy
Yeah,
your
go get your
razors.
razor. All right, we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.